And we are back on Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Shanfield, and I am now joined by one of the newest members of the Chicago Bears. He is a Pro Bowl offensive tackle, Jermon Bushrod. Thanks for joining the show tonight, Jermon. How's it going?
Everything's good, man. I appreciate you having me on, man.
Well, it's a true pleasure, Jermon, and I want to start this interview off by talking about your time in college as you attended Towson University in Maryland. It's not the biggest name college, but first things first is why did you decide to go there?
I think it was just the best opportunity for me at the time. I was very fortunate that, they gave me a chance. And just tried to go there and, make the best of it. And I'm here today, so I really honestly I have no complaints. I love the time that I spent there at Towson. My best friend was with me, so, it was an enjoyable experience for my family now.
Your first year there in 2002, I believe you redshirted. Before agreeing to Towson, did you know that you would be redshirting that year?
Yes. I was under the impression that they were going to sit me for a year, and I wasn't opposed to that. But unfortunately, I got hurt that year anyway, so I ended up sitting anyway. So it all kind of worked out.
All right, now I'm getting ready to graduate high school soon, Jermon, and we'll be attending Columbia College Chicago right downtown. But before I go, I need to know, is there any advice or any tips I need to know before starting the college life?
Man, just have fun. It's honestly the best time of your life you're going to meet. You're probably going to meet your best friends there, obviously in college. I have some best friends back home, but, I got a lot of good friends I met in college. A lot of good, genuine relationships that, I cherish to this day. So, just go in with an open mind and just get ready to go to work because, you got a lot more freedom. So, you enjoy it, have your fun, you're going to hit the books.
All right, and overall, how would you say your experience was at Towson University? Did you enjoy it?
I loved it, man. I loved it. I go back when I can now to support the football team and other athletic programs around there.
That's great. And Jermon, in 2007, the New Orleans Saints decided to draft you in the 2007 NFL Draft. You went in the 4th round. What was that moment like for you to just be into the NFL?
Surreal, because early on in life, I was a baseball player, and I love watching the sport of football. I love playing it, but I never really had aspirations until that my life kind of opened up, and I kind of went full steam ahead, and for me and my family and friends to experience that, because the draft was something I used to watch when I was a kid, especially in high school, a lot more in college, and then the fact that I was able to have my name called coming from King George, Virginia, and coming from Towson, that's just what made it more special.
And of course, the NFL Draft just passed. Is there any advice you would give to the rookies entering the NFL?
Man, hit the books, kind of keep your goals in front of you, It's really about doing what you got to do to stay around, man. It's a tough league. It's a tough job opportunity. And, it's just about knowing what you have to do at all times. And I guess when your number's called, just go in there and do the job to the best of your ability.
All right, and here's a question I like to ask mainly all my guests that come on the show. When you were a rookie in the NFL, were there any veterans on the Saints teams that made you or any of the other rookies do anything like carry pads, bring donuts in the morning, or even give you guys a funny haircut like they do nowadays?
No, I didn't get any haircuts, none of that good stuff. I mean, my hair isn't too long, so it really wouldn't matter to me too much. No donuts. I had to go get breakfast or go fetch some other things. You know how it is. Mm-hmm. But, I would have to sing. I'm not really much of a singer. I can't really carry the tune too much. But, I don't know if you can hear my son in the background. He's kind of singing right now. But, we had to sing in front of the team, and it was all good. It was all in good fun. Everybody had to do it. It wasn't like I was the only one. So, I enjoyed that. I had to carry some pads and training camp, which when it was very, very hot, in Mississippi and Louisiana where we had training camp, but it was all good.
In 2009, you became the New Orleans Saints starting left tackle due to an injury to Jamal Brown. And, of course, that was the year you guys won the biggest game of the year, the Super Bowl. Can you tell us about the journey yourself and the team had to make to win Super Bowl 44?
I mean, it's kind of what you dream about, you know. You dream about going through a journey like that with a bunch of guys who have the same goals and aspirations as you do to reach the highest point of football, you know, to get there and to conquer, to bring home that championship was honestly one of the best feelings I've ever had. You know, aside from, you know, being married and having kids, winning that Super Bowl was literally like one of the greatest times of my life. But you know, it just makes you hungry to get back there, man. It's such, you know, the game is great. It's awesome, but like what you really think about is the journey to get there. You know, the fight to get there, the ups and downs through the year. So, you know, it's honestly it's great, man. It's a tremendous feeling.
In the playoffs, you guys defeated the Cardinals and Vikings and would then defeat the Indianapolis Colts 31-17 in that Super Bowl. What was the great city of New Orleans like after winning that huge Super Bowl?
They were happy, man. I mean, you know, grown men were crying. The streets were flooded with people jumping up and down, cheering. The fans went crazy, you know, because the city of New Orleans, they deserved that. You know, I think they went through enough pain and enough hardship, and it was just great that we could, you know, deliver that and put a smile on their face. And you know, it was a great party afterwards. You know, our parade was unbelievable. It was crazy, man. So they really enjoyed the journey, man. They were happy. We were happy. Everyone was happy.
You guys are listening to Sportsman Radio. I'm your host, Chris Schanfeld, talking with Chicago Bears offensive tackle Jermon Bushrod. Jermon, you are a two-time Pro Bowler. What does it mean to you to be voted by fans and teammates around the NFL as being one of the best in the league at what you do?
It's just a great, honestly, I think when you get selected, it just goes back more to your team, man. It just goes back to you know, you guys winning games, you guys playing hard for each other. And, you know, it's just great to go there and represent your team. I never thought in a million years that, you know, I would go to a Pro Bowl, let alone two. But at the end of the day, it was a blessing. Truthfully, it was a blessing. But it all goes back to the team, man, and all about, you know, the success that the team has. And, you know, a couple people get the opportunity to go and represent their team at great events such as the Pro Bowl. So it was awesome, man. It's great family time out there, and it was it was a fun game this past year.
And how would you feel if the NFL decides to end the Pro Bowl?
I think it would be unfortunate, but you know, that's not really my call. But you know, every major sport has an all-star game, and I think the fans enjoy it. I mean, the players enjoy it. Their families enjoy it. It just gives. It's just you know, after a long season, man, those players, they enjoy going out there with their families and just you know having an opportunity to play in another game and you know put on a little show. So it would be unfortunate.
Jermon, on March 12, 2013, it was the first day of free agency in the NFL, and you got paid, my man. You signed a 5-year deal worth $35 million, 17 of that being guaranteed, and that is actually the most an offensive lineman has ever been paid in the Chicago Bears history. Does that put any extra pressure on you?
No, not really. I mean, you have pressure day in and day out to get your job done. I mean, the more pressure you put on yourself, the harder time you're going to have. You know, you just got to go out there and worry about the things that you can control. You know, you put a whole bunch of pressure on yourself, then you know it kind of gets your focus off of what you really need to get done. You know, all we're trying to do is go in here and get better every single day. Continue to work together. Continue to, well, you know, me being a new guy, continue to get used to everyone else. You know, going out there and playing for a common goal. Because at the end of the day, I mean, it doesn't really make a difference what guys get paid high and low or in between. At the end of the day, you're only out there to win games. And once the season rolls, nobody even knows about who's getting paid what. It's really not a big deal. It's just, if we're winning or losing.
And last year, the Chicago Bears decided to bring in a new general manager in Phil Emery. This year, they decided to bring in a new coaching staff, which includes head coach Mark Trestman, defensive coordinator Mel Tucker, and offensive coordinator Aaron Cromer. For those who don't know, Cromer was your offensive line coach in New Orleans. Did him coming to Chicago have anything to do with you coming to Chicago?
Yeah, it played a big part, because we were with each other for the last 4 years, 4+ years, and for us to, go through the journeys that we have, I understood the system. I'm comfortable with it, so, it's not like I had, I didn't have direct talks with Coach Cromer, but, I'm pretty sure he did some persuading to get me here, and I'm very, very blessed and, to have this opportunity just to further my career along, especially in a place like Chicago with, it has such deep history and such a love and passion for this game.
Now, I know you haven't, maybe you haven't, well, I'll just ask you, have you been able to, walk around and kind of see what Chicago has?
No, I haven't. I'm just trying to get used to the area, trying to get everything straight on my end, and then, probably within the next couple weeks or so, I'm going to start making my journey down in the city. I was actually in the city for dinner one time this past weekend, and that was pretty cool, man, just to get out and see a new city, see how it flows, man. I know everyone I talk to says it's a great time in the summertime, so I'm looking forward to just, after workouts and stuff like that, just going down and kicking in the city for a while.
Yeah, that sounds good. And, I mentioned that the 2013 NFL Draft just went by. The Bears decided to draft offensive guard Kyle Long out of Oregon with the 20th overall pick. What are your thoughts on that pick, Jermon?
I'm happy for him, man. It's just it's another great pickup for us to go in here and execute our goals, man. Execute, what we're trying to get done this year, man. The coaches love him, I love him. Once he gets in the locker room, all the guys, I'm sure, will love him. So, at the end of the day, man, the coaches, that's what they do. They bring in the people that they think fit well for us. And, I'm excited about working with the young man and kind of ready to get this thing going.
Hey, man, I'm ready to see this thing going, too, man. I'm really excited for this season. I really appreciate your time tonight, man. Before I let you go, I want to ask you a few fun questions, and then I actually want to talk about a few upcoming events you're holding. Does that sound good?
Yeah. Cool.
All right, I'm going to start off with 1 minute. All right, what is Jermon Bushrod's favorite TV show and movie?
Oh, man. I don't know if I have a favorite TV show. Honestly, I don't know if I have a favorite movie, man. I don't know. I get in different kind of moods, I mean, if you got to say all-time favorite TV show, I got to go with Martin, because I can still watch it to this day and I can still laugh at it. Chappelle's Show was one of my favorite TV shows when it was on. As far as movie, I don't know, man. I'm a comedy type of guy,
You gotta love Napoleon Dynamite or Step Brothers, right?
Yeah, I like all those goofy movies, man. All those movies that just make you laugh, man. I'm all for Anchorman, all those movies, bro.
All right, favorite thing to eat?
Well, I'm 325, so it's not like I really don't. I don't discriminate from too much food, but I'm a country boy, so it's pretty much whatever my mom, whatever my parents cook, whatever my wife's cooking up. I like a good steak. Man, I don't know. I'm not picky, man. I don't really have favorites. I'm just I'm a go with the flow type of person, man.
All right, so whatever comes at you, I can deal with that.
Yeah.
What do you like to do in your free time?
Well, I have an 11-month-old son now, so I'm pretty much, whenever I do have some free time, I'm with him for the most part, man. I like to relax. I like to spend time with my family, with my new family, and then with my old family. I like to travel a little bit. I get on those video games too. I'm pretty in the Xbox, the FIFA. So if anybody wants to see me, just holler at me.
I'll tell you one thing, Jermon, you don't want none.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's the only band that's been in my console for years, so I don't know if you want to step up.
Hey, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to make that happen. Now, I know you mentioned baseball. Except for football, what is your favorite sport? Is it baseball?
Growing up, I played baseball all my life since I was like 4, so I always had a passion about it. I enjoy watching it now. I enjoy watching basketball games, but since I got into the whole FIFA deal, I kind of like turned me on to soccer. So I'll watch games. I'll watch any soccer match that comes on TV. I think they have a soccer match at Soldier Field sometime in July. I'm catching that. I don't know. I want to hit the World Cup, so I'm a soccer fan. I like to see good matches. I respect the sport. Those guys are freaks the nation.
You're on Twitter at J_Bushrod7475, and of course, if it wasn't for the magic of Twitter, you wouldn't be on the show right now. So that's really cool. Why do you make it important to connect with your fans?
Because the fans have just given so much. For the most part, most people are very nice on Twitter. So I like that. I have a lot of sometimes a little question and answer type deals. So they enjoy it, and I enjoy that.
All right, and last but not least, what is something about Jermon Bushrod that many people do not know?
I'm very blessed, man. I'm very blessed. I'm fortunate, and I enjoy the situation I'm in. I don't take it for granted. And you don't know, man. It's so tough to get to where you are in life. So, I don't really take anything for granted. I love to work hard. I love to come in and get better every single day and strengthen my weaknesses, strengthen my strengths. As long as I feel like I can do that for the rest of my life, I think I'll be all right.
Hey, man, I like hearing that. Now, Jermon, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing in the community. I know on June 14th you're holding a charity golf tournament in King George, Virginia, your hometown, for your charity called Visualize and Rise. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, the whole Visualize and Rise thing came about from my offensive line coach from Towson. He always told me, if you can't visualize yourself doing something, then it'll never happen. So, that's kind of what the whole Visualize and Rise deal kind of just ran with it. And it's kind of something that stuck with me throughout my life since he kind of pushed that to me. But, what we're doing with the Visualize and Rise deal, we're having a youth football camp on the 15th, a golf tournament on the 14th, and we're raising money for scholarships to give back in my hometown and other counties around. So, we've been able to give out, I think my first year, 3 years ago, we were able to give $2,500 scholarships. This year, we're going to be giving out, from last year's money, we're going to be giving out around like $3,500 scholarships. So, we're just trying to see people as we burning off of something, and all that good stuff.
Now, you mentioned, so June 14th you're holding a charity golf tournament, and then the next day, June 15th, you're holding a free football camp for 300 kids ages 6 to 14, both in King George, Virginia. Now, Jermon, why give back? Why do you make it important to give back? Because there are a lot of, professionals out there that do give back, but there are also some that don't, and I know you make it important to give back, so why do you like to give back to the community?
Because, the community is kind of how I got here. I love my community while I'm from back in Virginia. It's important for us to get back at this level, man. We're very blessed individuals, and just because, you make it to, you're blessed enough to make it to the level that we're at, you don't have to be a professional athlete or a doctor to get back. It's all about just giving your stuff to others, man. It's all about trying to show these youth that, the older generation cares about them. We care about how they're raised. We care about their future and all that good stuff. So, that's really what's important. We're very blessed in this life. So, for you to give back, you give your blessing to other people, man. That's what makes it all special. And the kids appreciate it, the parents also appreciate it, and then the whole golf thing, that's kind of where the monetary side of this whole deal comes from. But, I like to hold a social event like golf. It gets a lot of people involved. It gets a lot of volunteers involved. It gets a lot of companies involved by donating, having a good time. And then in the end, we're going to be blessing a lot of students and just trying to give back, kind of like what I was saying earlier, just taking some of the burden off of these parents. Once you go up to school, man, these books aren't cheap. They're $100, $200 books, $75 books. So, whatever thing we can help out, with Visualize Rise, man, or if anybody or any listener wants to help out, please feel free to go to my website, visualizerise.com, JermonBushrod.com. We're giving out scholarships every year to all these students, and they're so thankful and they feel so blessed because we're able to do that. But they don't understand the warmth that's in our heart when we can, give back to them.
Well, Jermon, we certainly appreciate the work that you put on and off the field. And I got to say, I really appreciate your time tonight, man. Hopefully we can do it again in the future. Before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to plug on there for myself and our listeners?
Can you repeat that? I'm sorry, you broke up.
Before I let you go, is there anything else you'd like to plug on the air for myself and our listeners? It's been a true pleasure.
Oh, man, I appreciate you having me on. I'm blessed to be a great city, man. I'm so happy to be a Bear, man. Thank you.
All right, hey, I'll be seeing you in Bourbonnais, Illinois for training camp. Best of luck and take care.
All right, man. You too.